Hey guys, welcome to MMA Maverick, where we talk about UFC fights. Today we're gonna be talking about UFC Kansas City that just happened last night. Impressions, what picks we had, what really happened in the fight. So we went 12 out of 14, which is great. Only two fights we didn't get right. So yeah, let's just go over some of the fights and what really happened. First fight, Chelsea Chandler and Justin Edwards. I had Justin Edwards in this fight. I thought Justin Edwards, Chelsea Chandler wouldn't be so susceptible to getting hit. I thought she would like at least put some wrestling in and maybe being able to survive to a decision. But Justin Edwards was just amazing. Her striking was on point, and she knocked out Chelsea Chandler round one. It was a beautiful knockout. So congrats to Justin Edwards. Great performance. She has a lot of potential. She did great. Her striking was on point. So yeah, Justin Edwards really like came through and round one knockout. Next we had Timmy Kumba Roberto Romero. So this is one fight where which we didn't get, one of the two fights we didn't get right. So I had Roberto Romero winning like a decision, and he looked good. He looked good in some aspects. He was able to it was like back and forth fight. Timmy Kumba was striking, but Roberto Romero was maybe even outstriking him a little bit, maybe control him a little bit on the fence. But Timmy Kumba caught him with a beautiful flying knee. It was beautiful knockout. And yeah, won this fight. This is one of the fights we didn't get right. So congratulations, Timmy Kumba. He had a great performance. Beautiful, like highlight reel knockout that it's definitely gonna get him like higher ranked matchup in the next fight. So congrats, Timmy Kumba. Next we had Jacqueline Amorim and Poliana Vivana. So this went how everybody expected it to go. Jacqueline Amorim by submission. We had that too. Betting wise, it wasn't smart to bet on this fight. The odds were not good, but like if you put like it was plus 900, I think, to Jacqueline Amorim by decision. So nobody was giving much chance to Poliana Viana. And yeah, this showed it. Like she got submitted in the round two. She was getting she survived the first round, but she was getting controlled by Jacqueline Amorim. Jacqueline Amorim just showed like she's levels above, and I think she has great potential. She can go all the way in that division. Her BJJ is amazing. And yeah, like this fight just showed us like there's levels in this game, and especially women's MMA where submissions or decision are usually the out case. Jacqueline Amorim is somebody that has great potential. Next we had Malcolm Wellmaker and Cameron Simon. So we actually got this right. Another fight that we got right. Wellmaker by KO is what I predicted, and it happened exactly how I predicted. A flush, straight hit down the pipe, straight right down the pipe, and yeah, knockout in the first round. Folded Simon. Folded him. Yeah, like just great performance by Malcolm Wellmaker. Had him by knockout in the first round. And yeah, I think he perfect debut against gritty veteran. Just shows you that has a potential in this division. He's striking look on point. He looked great. So yeah, congratulations to Malcolm Wellmaker. Next we had Damon Blackshear and Alan Tanguel. So I had Damon Blackshear in this fight too, so we got that right. I thought he could maybe submit Alan Tanguel, but yeah, it was a a fight where Damon just dominated from start to finish. He got a unanimous decision. He showed he's striking a little bit. He's yeah. The fight was just on the feet. Like there wasn't any you can see nobody attempted even a takedown. So yeah, he had 125 significant strikes. So he just showed he's striking, out stuff. He didn't get knocked out. But yeah, the Mount Blackshear, like we predicted, is gonna win this fight. Great striking, composed. But yeah, I was hoping for a finish from him. But yeah, still a great performance. Next we had Chris Gutierrez and Sexy Mexi John Castaneda. So we got this right too. Chris Gutierrez um, won this on split decision. It was a close fight. It was back and forth. It was fun in a way. There were a couple of knockdowns. Um, you know, takedowns. Like John Castaneda could have pushed the pace and attempted more takedowns, but he didn't. Like he really could have did more with that to get the judges on his side. But yeah, um, Chris Gutierrez just he was jabbing his head away a couple of times. It just looked better in those exchanges. So yeah, it's like a close fought fight, but I had Chris Gutierrez before this, and I know his striking was better. His leg kicks are amazing, and then he starts working his boxing combo. So you know, jab, straight hook, easy, and yeah, Chris Gutierrez, you know, got this split decision um against John Castaneda. Next, we have Evan Elder and Gage Young. So it's a fight that we also got wrong. Evan Elder by decision, like we predicted. What's more to say here? Just like in every aspect, of striking, he just showed experience. Gage Young was levels below, but good thing for him didn't get finished. Evan Elder just had 115 to 80 significant strikes, more volume, more significance, more damage. Yeah, just clean, unanimous decision against the debutant in Gage Young. So yeah, Evan Elder just showed that he's gamed. But we'll see who they pair him up with next. He's solid. He's gamed. Very tough guy to beat. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him again. Next we got Matt Schnell and Jimmy Flick, the duel of the retired guys, the duel of the has-beens, and I thought Matt Schnell, yeah, like I predicted, it's gonna be Matt Schnell victory. He won by decision, unanimous decision. Just had better striking than Jimmy Flick, who we know has no striking. Jimmy Flick had takedowns, and he got reversed a couple of times, and he just he was just chasing Matt Schnell and didn't do much with those takedowns. Didn't do much damage. Matt Schnell, was boxing his head off, better boxing. So yeah, like I predicted, Matt Schnell, is gonna get this W. Just his striking is levels above Jimmy Flick. Yeah. But yeah, solid fight, better than I thought it would be, and Matt Schnell, yeah, like we predicted, won this one. Ikram Aleskeva and Muniz, so it's a fight where I also had Ikram, and I had Ikram by KO too. The odds weren't great from betting perspective, like even round 1 KO. I bet on him round 1 KO, but it was like plus 100 for round 1 KO, which is like not great odds, but he looked amazing. His striking was on point. He was very precise, kind of like a sniper in there. Start a couple of leg kicks. Andrew Muniz, didn't have anything to do with him in there. Ikram is just levels above. I think he's like in that second tier where he can't beat the top guys like Whitaker, but he can beat Andrew Muniz's of this world. So, I think you just gotta keep working, keep progressing, and keep, these guys like Whitaker will age out of the division. So, and then he's gonna get his shot. I think he just gotta keep working hard. He's very talented. He's very good in every aspect. He's a very good striker. He didn't even show his wrestling yet. We know he comes from Dagestan, so he has to have wrestling, but his striking looked really crisp. So if we've been winning fights like this with just his striking, imagine what he can do with his wrestling. So congrats to Ikram. Yeah, let's get him a better opponent. Somebody, not in the top 2-3, but around there, top 10, top 5. you know, because he has a lot of potential, and I think in the future we might see this guy, getting up there fighting for the belt. Next we got Randy Brown and Nicholas Dalby, and this fight was amazing. Like, I had Nicholas Dalby. I thought Nicholas Dalby. I had Randy Brown by decision, so I thought Nicholas Dalby will be durable like he always was. He'll be able to like survive the onslaught, and you know Randy Brown would win by decision. But Randy Brown showed amazing striking. He even got dropped by Nicholas Dalby at the end of the first round. But then he's just like from the start he's striking. He was just so much longer, and he was using his length, his jab, straights, even hooks. The hooks were like it looked like it was coming from 10 feet away. Um, like he just looked amazing. So yeah, knocked out Nicholas Dalby for the first time. Is this the end of Nicholas Dalby? Looking at his age, 42, we gotta think that. So, congrats to Randy Brown. Amazing performance, amazing knockout. Nicholas Dalby, I love him, but Father Time waits for nobody. And at 42, it's maybe time to start thinking about other career paths. Yeah, for the Denmark's Nicholas Dalby. But yeah, congrats to Randy Brown. Great performance. Next, we have Michel Pereira and Abus Magomedov. Like, this fight was so bad. Like, so bad. I had Michel Pereira. I thought he would win by knockout. And he honestly could have. Like, Abus was dead. Especially, like, end of second, third round. Abus was dead. If Michel just pushed the pace, but he really did not look like himself. He did not have that aggression. He did not have that drive. He did not have that violence that he usually comes with, and why everybody loves to watch him fight. Not have any of that. He just looked like stuck in my like almost just showing up to get paid. And I don't know. Like, I read a tweet that he got cut, but I'm not even sure. But honestly, for that performance, he deserves to get cut. Abus just didn't do much either. He gassed too. Like, he was so gassed in the other third. And they weren't even doing any wrestling. Like, just striking. They both just have such terrible gas tanks, for this division. And, yeah, just horrible, horrible fight. People were waving their phones and lighters in the crowd. Like, it was the worst fight on the card. And, yeah, I'm very disappointed in Michel Pereira. Like, I expected way more from him, but what can you do? We'll see if he gets cut. But that performance, I'm never betting on him again. Like, that was horrendous. Next we got Giga and David Onama. So I had Giga here. And like I predicted, Giga was like piecing David Onama up with kicks, like keeping the range. But David Onama, like second round, just like got comfortable with takedowns and was controlling Giga, just wrestling control. Like, he was getting pieced up on the feet. Like, Giga just like had better striking. Giga was like very smooth with his striking. So unfortunately he lost. But yeah, David Onama just like got the boring decision, like unanimous decision. It would have been a great fight. The striking was fun in the first round, and then David Onama just started wrestling, and after that it got very, very, very boring. But Giga showed like he was good striking, but yeah, that takedown defense just like horrible. You gotta do better with that. Next we had Anthony Smith and Zhang Minyan, and this exactly went how we predicted. Round 1 KO by Zhang. Anthony just like this was his last fight, and he just like looked defeated. Zhang Minyan opened him up so bad. Like, he did like this stepping elbow and just cut his skull open. It was so bad. His skull was bleeding. He was bleeding all over the floor, and then the just pouring blood started going to his eyes, and he was just like I mean, most of us in that situation, when you have blood downpouring on your face, you're gonna be like, oh shit, get me out of there. And then Zhang, he just fell on the floor bleeding, and Zhang just finished him off with some ground and pound. Anthony Smith's in front of his whole family, got massacred unfortunately, but he had a really nice send off. They made like a nice UFC. They made a nice tribute video, and don't get me wrong, Anthony Smith, like he he had his moments in the UFC, but like I think like even the chances he got, he was always like overrated. I never rated him that high. Like he was overrated, and then they kept playing that clip where he like gets the belt. He could have gotten the belt from John Jones, but all respect to him. He's gonna be doing podcasts now and things like that. But yeah, Anthony Smith. Yeah, good thing that he retires. Just like has nothing to look for in the fights, and taking that much damage at that age is just not good. Go spend time with your family. Go retire and focus on other things. So yeah, but fun fight though. Like violence. If you're looking for violence and blood, you got in this one. So yeah, next one we got Ian Machado, Garry, and Carlos Prates, and just how I predicted, Ian Machado won by decision. Um, it was like Carlos didn't pull the plug in the first 3 rounds. It was more so measured. Ian Machado was keeping his distance. Just like um, you know using his front kicks a lot, straights, jabs. You know, keeping Carlos at a distance, which Ian is really good at that, nullifying his opponent's weaknesses and keeping his opponents at distance. Carlos tried like getting in and using his striking a bit, but it was just like it will always be like a couple of steps too short. And then Ian, what I gotta give Carlos is his takedown defense. His takedown defense looked amazing. Like he stopped a bunch of takedowns. How many takedowns? Four takedowns. And yeah, I think he only got 21%. He scored 4 out of 19. So he stopped like 15 takedowns from me and Machado, Garry. So I gotta give Carlos Prates his flowers for his takedown ability, and we know now that he can go 5 fights. But like, what happened to that killer instinct? In the fourth round, he could have finished the fight. In the fifth round, he could have finished the fight, if he just pushed a little bit more. He had Ian Machado, Garry on the ground, and he was just like keeping, just like not pushing the play, just like taking his time, like he got this decision in a bag, but he didn't. He was losing the fight. He had to knock out Ian Machado, Garry to win, but he didn't pull the plug. I mean, yeah. What did we find out? Ian Machado, Gary's IQ, great fight IQ, and like I predicted, he's gonna be in a decision. But Carlos Prates, yeah, he really could have finished this. He really could have, and this would have been amazing for him. He would have been, like fighting for the belt next. But yeah, he just didn't. He just didn't pull the plug enough. Like for Carlos, I need him to like work on finishing fights. Like I know, like he finished either 4 fights in the first round, but yeah, just like in this fight, like I don't know, he was gun shy when he met somebody with his striking credentials. So yeah, when you have somebody across who has the same striking credentials and good striking as you, like don't be scared to like pull the plug, go for it. Like you almost had him. So yeah, disappointed in Carlos that he didn't like finish this fight, but yeah, all props to Ian. Like he showed levels. He was utilizing his threat of takedowns, his straights. Ian will fight for a title. Both of these guys probably will eventually, but Ian, I think, will sooner. Carlos is missing that fight IQ than Ian has, so that's one thing. So all today I've been seeing all these memes with how fighting nerds are gonna delete Carlos Prates from their undefeated pictures. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Is Carlos Prates fired from the fighting nerds? And they need to import somebody new with undefeated record. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, good fight card overall. I enjoyed it a lot. Good fights. We got 12 out of 14 right. So from that perspective, we did good too. Looking forward to the next fight card. Is that the Baku one? No, that's not the back one. Next fight card, what do we have? UFC. What do we have next? I think it's the oh yeah, Sanhagen and Davidson. So this looks like a fun one too. I mean, first three fights are. After that, it gets a little weaker, but yeah, like we'll go over this one. This one is on May 3rd, so yeah, a couple of interesting fights. Not as good as the one we just went over, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one too. So yeah, thank you guys. This was MMA Maverick. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the fight. Like, comment, share, and subscribe in comments. You know, how did your predictions go? Did you enjoy this card? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.